Today's video is not really all about clothing. It's about making changes that are necessary. And at first they may feel like a compromise, but then when you step back and look at the change you've made, you think to yourself, that was actually an improvement. And what gave me the idea to make this video that maybe some of you will watch, I don't know if you're watching it, I don't know, let me know that you're watching it, was a post that Jason Longobardo made probably about 2 weeks ago. I just saw it and I left a rather lengthy reply. Let me read you the post. How many of you set up in your formal attire? I just watched a time-lapse video and the DJ was setting up his rig in a suit and tie. Okay, so he's asking, who does this? Don't you normally change your clothes, set up clothes, and performance clothes, and then breakdown clothes? Here's my answer. And I've got to talk about some personal stuff in here, but I think it might actually maybe bring up some more interesting conversation about making necessary changes. Everything changed post-stroke. I can no longer tie a tie, button or tuck in a dress shirt, safely wear formal dress shoes, and find that formal dress clothing is now very movement restrictive. To do something as simple as getting dressed can be exhausting. I also need more time and room to do clothing changes than a bathroom stall at an event hall allows. So, just like everything else in life today, I need to understand what workarounds are possible for all of the things I can no longer do. I also need to prioritize what's really important and what's actually not that important or vital to get the job done. To save time and energy while still being able to set up, break down, and perform, a wardrobe change is now out of the question. However, I can safely wear black New Balance shoes. Who's looking at my feet anyway? I can wear most chinos and khakis, especially from brands like Levi, that are available in tan and black. I can also wear virtually wrinkle-free golf shirts untucked. When you look around a banquet hall, that's how most servers and bar staff are dressed, even at formal events. I'm also there providing a service, so the attire feels appropriate. The trick I've found to pull it off really well is to wear only the pants and tops that fit me well and flatter my build. I also do my absolute best to walk into every event with a fresh shaven haircut, which helps level up the business casual look. I cut my own hair and try my best to give myself a fresh one the night before any gig, be it a bar, club, or wedding. So yeah, I'm still setting up and breaking down in the same clothing I perform in. What are you gonna do, man? I can't tuck a shirt in, I can't button a shirt, I can't tie a tie. And I need to be able to move freely. With what limited movement I have, I cannot wear anything restrictive. So this is what I'm doing. And it works really well. There was a time, a long time ago, when a client would ask the question, what do you wear? And I think that kind of came from a lot of DJs showing up in, something like this. Just a t-shirt. This has got a little paint on the sleeve. That's how I dress when I'm shooting these videos usually. But that's not how I dress when I perform at an event. And just about anybody could pull off a tuxedo. Back in the old days, a lot of people wore them, or suits or whatever. But what's interesting about that is they didn't have well-kept facial hair or haircuts or anything else. So it looked like a bum just put a suit on. Where if you have a fresh haircut and you're shaved and you're wearing clothes that are just flattering you, you're pulling off a good look. You look like you belong there. You look like you made effort. And I'm not getting married. I'm providing a service just like everyone else there is, be it servers or bartenders or any other event staff. I'm dressed just like they are. So nobody's asking me what I wear anymore. No one's asking that for a long, long time. But no one's ever complained about what I've worn because I feel like I pull off the look well. So yeah, I'm setting up and breaking down in the exact same clothing that I showed up in. And sometimes if it's really hot outside, which it does get here in Wisconsin, and I'm going to get real sweaty, I might put a t-shirt on, but a clean, maybe neutral color t-shirt without anything on it to do a setup or even a breakdown. and then just change into my polo shirt, which isn't hard to do. And my hair is so short that it's not like taking the t-shirt off and putting the polo on, and or reverse is really screw me up that bad. I can usually just kind of, do this in the mirror of the truck or whatever. I can change right next to my Suburban if I want to, and nobody even notices. I don't have to go into a bathroom stall about it. There's been so many things that I've had to rethink. And like I said in this post, what you really have to do when you find that you can no longer do things that normal people can do is start to really prioritize what's really important and then what's not so important. What do you really not need to do that you do? How can I streamline this process as good as possible? How can I do that? Well, I'm going to have to get rid of things that are hard for me to do. I mean, look, tripods for speakers. I did it for a long time. My first solution was to use Frankensteins that were pneumatic, that had the shock in it. So you put the speaker on, you kind of just ease it up, ease it down. Even those were heavy, though. I've gone on to column arrays now, the Electro Voice, the Evolve series. They're great. I don't have any pulse to a cymbal. I don't have to do anything like that or connect any extra wires aside from the lead to my mixing board or my controller. Makes the process super easy. Lighting. I mean, tripods for lights, it can't be done unless I bring things in assembled, and that's difficult. Then you have to ask yourself, do I need to put lights on T-bars and tripods and trussing? Do I have to do this? No, I don't, because I can create an effect with PARs, especially with easy RF remote control, and do the uplighting thing. It's easier to set up, and it's actually an improvement over anything I had on a T-bar or anything I ever ran on a truss. It's not shining in anyone's eyes. I'm washing the audience. I'm creating interesting things for people on the dance floor to look around and see. That's something that I've made the suggestion to friends, years ago. When you set up for an event, turn on all your lights, turn up your sound and all that, if you can, when you have the opportunity and you have a clear room, and go out in the audience. Go out on the dance floor, go by the tables, go by the bar, and look at what you're doing, and listen to what you're doing, and see if it's pleasant for the audience. I've had friends who have done it, and they've told me, dude, I never realized I was blinding people with lighting. I never realized how harsh the mids were on my speakers, and they addressed the issues. Maybe they turn the lights another way. Maybe they do what I'm doing with the PARs on the floor, which really I think creates a really nice effect. It's elegant. The setup is rather minimal, but it's incredibly effective. I don't have extras. I don't need extras. I just make it clean. I have, like, my cable bag. I was talking to my friend about cable bags the other day. He brings 5 cable bags to every 100-person wedding he does. I'm like, man, why are you doing that? He's like, I don't know, it's just habit. Where in reality, he only needs a small bag. He needs leads from the mixing board controller to his speakers, XLR. He needs some IC cables, like probably maybe 2 for the speakers. He needs things like extension cords. It's not that big of a deal. My cable bag weighs nothing, but I do have spares in it. I know I need 2 XLRs for my speakers, but I have a 3rd one in there. I think I even have a 4th one in there. I'm not going overkill with extra cables. I'm not bringing cables with me I'm not going to need. In my computer bag, that's where I have things like the cable that goes from the data cable from the controller to the computer. I've got an extra one in there. I try to pack my mixing board and controller and microphones and those kind of things all wired up in the case, so I don't have to worry about a lot of extra cabling for that. But yeah, there's an extra XLR, there's extra ICs, but it's not overkill. I'll take you through my cable bag if you're curious. Let me know in the comment section. We can go through it and see exactly what's in it for what I'm setting up. And see, there are redundancies. And it's not overkill redundancies, not a ridiculous amount of redundancies. But there are redundancies in there just in case, I don't know, a steamroller rolls over some of my cables and I got to replace them. I do have them, but I'm not going crazy with them. I'm not going crazy with lighting. I'm using the lighting that I need. I'm not going crazy with audio. I'm using the audio that I need. Man, those column arrays, I know I've said it, a lot of people don't like them, a lot of people do, but I'm telling you, it's leveled up everything. I'm able to do things with those that I was not able to do with two-way horn-loaded top cabinets. I'm able to control the mid. I'm able to have volume without it being painful because I'm no longer dealing with a long throw horn. I've talked about that in exhaustion, but yeah, I mean, they're compromises you make, and at first you're thinking, oh no, I'm not dressed like I normally am. I'm not bringing the system I normally bring. I'm not bringing the light thing I normally bring. It's not as good a product as I had before. No, quite the contrary. It's a better product because I made good choices in the clothing. I made good choices in the equipment. I made good choices in the setup. I feel like I have. And I'm always looking to streamline it more. But yeah, man, just because it's got to be different, just because it's not what you used to do, doesn't always mean it's bad. You know? I mean, I get it. I mean, some of you like to wear suits. Cool, wear a suit. If you can do it, do it. But if you cannot do it, if you're to the point where you're physically unable to reasonably do this, there are alternatives. You wear things that are flattering on you. You wear things that are easy to move in. That's what I do, and it really works out. So anyway, there's my video. If you're watching this video within the next couple hours, yeah, we have an event tonight in downtown Milwaukee, walking distance from all downtown hotels. Everyone's welcome. Come on down, check us out. We'd love to have you. But if you're watching this video sometime in the future, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.